everybody, and thanks for joining me. You never know what a boring old guy might be up to, and today I want to bake some bread. So I haven't made bread for a while, and I miss it. I miss my homemade bread. I'm going to be making a no-knead yeasted bread today, super simple, and I'm going to be baking it in my cast iron combination cooker today. So the combination cooker, I picked this up for $50 US, and boy, I've used it for, baking biscuits out in the field, even cinnamon muffins, but I've never actually baked a loaf of bread in it. So it's time, right? So the combination cooker is, it's a real interesting beast. I mean, you can use the top as a frying pan if you need to. The bottom portion is, Lord, like Dutch oven. You could use it as a chicken fryer. Frequently, when I do baking on my camp stove out in the wild, I'll turn it over like this. Use this as the dome, right? Anyway, I was told by a friend that a lot of like sourdough videos that she's seen, the people use these combination cookers to cook them in. It's like, why didn't I think of that? So I'm going to make some. Let's get started. All right, this recipe could hardly be simpler. What I've got is 1.5 cups of warm water. It's 110 degrees Fahrenheit is what you're looking for here. And that's warm enough to activate the yeast, but not so hot that it kills it, right? So 105 to 110, somewhere in that ballpark. And there I am, right there. To that, we're going to add a teaspoon of yeast. There it is. All right, and we're going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar. That gives the yeast something to eat. All right, that is it for that. Let's whisk it all together. And we're just going to set it aside and let it activate. All right, looking good. Here we go. And while that is resting, we'll put the dry ingredients together. All right, I'm going to use a mix for this today, and you don't have to. You can use whatever flour that you have. All right, that's not going to fit inside my jar. Whoop. All right, there we are. So I'm going to use 3 cups of flour. And let's see, this first one is an unbleached white, all-purpose. Half a cup at a time here. I wish I had a jar with a larger mouth, but this is what I got, and I like it. All right, there we go. There is 1 cup. Next, I'm going to use a cup of oat flour. All right. Just do a good job of leveling off the cup. You don't have to be exact. Pack it down and scoop off the top with a knife or something like that. It's like, my recipes are pretty forgiving. They have to be forgiving for this old man. All right. Next, I'm going to use a whole wheat bread flour. There you go. So, to that, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. So, salt, what? Salt gives life flavor, doesn't it? All right. And I'm going to use a teaspoon of a fine sea salt, and I'm just putting it in my little strainer here just because I want as even a distribution as I can get, right? So the finer the particles, the more it's going to incorporate in there. At least that's my theory. All right, and after about half to 3/4 of that teaspoon gets in there, I'll just mix the rest of it in. All right, there we go. Let's mix this up. There it is. All right. So we're just going to incorporate this. And then after the yeast has been sitting there long enough, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes, you'll know by the bubbles on the top, right? When it really gets some bubbles going, you'll know that the yeast is activated. All right, so there's that. All right, and all I have to do is just wait a few more minutes on that yeast. Be right back. You can see all the bubbles in this. That means the yeast is active. All right, well, now that the yeast is active, we're just going to mix it together. That really is all there is to this mix. All right, now we'll be looking for a sticky dough. And, depending on the humidity where you are, your elevation, all kinds of factors, right? You might need to add a little bit more water. You might need to add a little bit more flour. All right, so we'll just mix it together and see how we go. So this is a little bit drier than I'd like to be. So just, I've got another 1/2 cup of water there. And I'm just going to add a little bit at a time until I think that I've got it right. And it's about time to get in here with my hands. No, this is looking pretty good, actually. All right, try not to overwork it. And I don't need much more, just a little spit. All right, there we go. This is going to be good. And I'm going to let this rest for a little bit. All right. Oh, it's fun to just play with it. All right, there we go. So what I'm going to do is cover this, set it in a warm place for about an hour, and let it rise. All right, so this is resting in a warm place, proofing for about an hour, a little bit more. So I've increased the oven temperature to 450 degrees, and I'm going to put my cast iron in the oven, let it preheat with the oven. All right, all there is to that. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of bleach on my work surface. All right, so what you want to look for with the bread dough is that it has approximately doubled in size. All right. So, like I said, this is a no knead. And let me get that one there. All right, I want my scraper to get this thing out of the bowl. So we're going to work it ever so slightly. All right. So just put this out onto a well-floured work surface. All right, get some flour on those hands. All right, so we're just going to spread this out a little bit. Just roughly into a long oval, a rounded rectangle. All right, and then we're going to fold it. do it again. All right. Here we go. Over like that. Over like that. Now we're going to form it into a little bowl. Okay. And then what I want to do, have some parchment paper here. I'm just going to put it back into the bowl that it proofed in the parchment paper. All right, and I'm going to cover that again and set it over on my stove so it can proof just a little bit more. When the oven is up to temperature, I'll just lift out the parchment paper, put it into the Dutch oven, back into my oven. All right, here we go. So as soon as that comes up to 450 temperature, I'll be right back. All right, so my oven is up to temperature. So I'm going to get that combination cooker out, and I'm going to put it on a hot pad here on my work surface. All right. All right. Do not touch any part of that. That is smoking hot. Okay. Here we go. So, this is ready. We just lift it, put it in there, put the lid back on the top. Come on, baby. All right. And back into the oven we go. Here it is. All right, just that simple. And we're going to set our timer for 30 minutes. And then we'll take the lid off and let the top brown for 5 or 10 minutes. All right, see you in a little bit. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. Time to take the lid off. Oh, that's looking good. Let's see. So we're just going to let that top brown up. Give it another 5 minutes or so. All right, so it's been 5 more minutes. And this is going to be finished. Ow! Ooh, got me. Yeah, it's always something. All right. Come on out of there. There we go. Nice hollow sound. Put that over there for now. Close that one up. Turn that one off. And there you have it. So, a nice small bowl of bread. Smells pretty good. Can hardly wait to cut into it. So I'm going to let this cool off and then I'll enjoy. All right. So I hope that this will inspire you to get into that kitchen and bake some bread. Super simple, super tasty. All right. Until next time, be blessed. Get out there and take a hike. Over. Sit. Okay. Charlie. Chloe. Summit. Good doggies. Good doggies.